Okay, so let's take a look at Achieve, which is our courseware. You can think of it as a one-stop shop. It has both a student and teacher ebooks and resources, a variety of formative and summative assessments. It has gradebook functionality and analytics to give you insight into student progress. And it's super intuitive and flexible, and it does integrate with your school's learning management or rostering system. So let's take a look. First, you just want to sign in. And then find your course. I have many courses, but yeah, just find your course. As I mentioned, the book does have ebook resources and assessment. So I want to show you what it would look like if you were to use this in your course, right? This is the language of composition for AP Language, and pretty much all of our English books work the same way as far as what you'll see resource-wise and all that. I'm going to change my view to student preview so you can see what they would see. So when they come in, they always land on this assignments view, right? So they can see right away what is assigned to them, right? So they can see what I have assigned, which is quite a bit here. So for next week, you can see that I've assigned them to read Mother Tongue by Amy Tan. It's the central essay in this book. And then I've also made available the handout, the ELL handout, that is a document students can download, and it's helpful for students, second language learners. There's also a vocabulary handout activity, which we'll look at that in a minute. And then I assigned some AP style multiple choice questions on that essay following the reading of it. Then I'm going to have my students do a tutorial on plagiarism because they're still struggling with integrating quotations. I have also assigned a reading, How the Other Half Lives, from our digital collection of readings. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then my students still struggle with grammar issues, so I assigned a couple of things for them. We have a podcast from Grammar Girl. We have formative assessment and summative assessment. So let's take a look at each one of these things. So if I click on the reading, the ebook opens up. You can see the table of contents on the left, but it's going to open up to what I assigned. And you can see right away that it's possible to make highlights and notes. So if I wanted to make a highlight, I can just scroll over whatever it is that I want to highlight, let go, and grab a highlighter. I have lots of highlights here. You can customize those. Or you can also annotate, and we know that annotation is important when you're reading selections in English class, right? So you just find the area that you want to make a note about, and then you let go of your cursor and click on Add a Note, and you can make a note to yourself. And then when you're done, you can close it out and minimize it. And now it's kind of hanging out on the right-hand side over here. So if I came back in, I could see it. We also gather all those notes in a notebook, so students don't have to really remember where they are. They're all gathered for them in one place. So it is interactive in that way. It has some nice accessibility features. So you can, if you click on the big A, little a, you can change the font size. So if you have vision issues, you can make it bigger. You can change the background color if you prefer, and you can change the line height as well. But you can also change the font. And I just want to point out here this Open Dyslexic font, which changes the font to a style that is better for those who have dyslexia. So you can do that as well. We also have the read aloud feature. So if you click on this little speaker over here and click the play button, it will read the book to you. Now let's go back and see what else we have scheduled here. So I mentioned that we have this handout. So if I click on this, it downloads. Students can download it, and this is the ELL Essential Guide handout, which gives students a little background information on the author, a preview of the text, and then support for vocabulary that might be challenging for them. So that was available. I made that available to them. Then you can see I've also made available the vocabulary handout. So I can click on that. That downloads, the student can open it, and this is an activity that you might want to do in class with the students, where it looks at the word, a particular word in context of the sentence, and then describe the effect of the word. So how did the author's word choice contribute to the meaning or the tone of the sentence? So this is something you might use in class. So that was made available. And then next we have the questions that I assigned, right? So if I click on that, it opens up, and this is the assessment piece for that reading that I assigned. So I can see here that I have 8 questions, right? Here's the question in the middle, and I'm going to choose an answer, and then I'm going to check my answer. And you can see here that I got the vivid imagery was wrong, and I got feedback as to why specifically that answer is incorrect. So I would read that and go, okay, all right, I understand. Now I'm going to try again, right? So then I could choose another answer, and I got it wrong again, and again it tells me that I got it wrong, but it tells me why. Why did I get that wrong, right? So this feedback is error specific, right? It's depending on what the wrong answer is. So this is kind of like, you know, it's a formative assessment. We're trying to help them form their knowledge or get to the right answer for the right reasons. So that is what this looks like. These are AP style questions in this particular exercise set. By the way, you can also make this into a more high stakes, like a test or a quiz, so a summative assessment where they would not get feedback. They would just answer the questions and submit it for a grade. So you can have it either way. That's a setting you can choose. So next I want them to do the plagiarism tutorial, right? Because they're struggling with integrating quotations. So again, it would open up, and here's 10 questions, and it's saying, you know, read the original source below, then see the student example that incorporates a quotation, and if they do it correctly, then click acceptable. If not, click unacceptable. So I'm going to choose an answer. I got it wrong, and again it tells me why I got it wrong. So this is a nice way to kind of offload, you know, some teaching around the issues of plagiarism, right? Next, I'm going to have them read How the Other Half Lives. So if I click on it, the ebook opens up. So here you can see that it opened up, the link opened up. So here you go, How the Other Half Lives. This is part of our digital collection of full-length works. We have nearly 100 readings that are above and beyond what's in your textbook, right? So you can see that there, but there's just tons of options here. It does work in the ebook the same way as the other ebook I just showed you a minute ago. You can annotate and so forth and so on. So this gives you lots of options beyond what is in the textbook. Next, we want to have them work on their grammar issues, right? So first, there's this Grammar Girl podcast. Grammar Girl, if you're not familiar, has these short books on grammar topics, and this is a short little podcast about active and passive voice, right?
Grammar Girl here. Today's topic is active voice versus passive voice.
So that's just another way to get at, you know, teaching them this particular grammar concepts, good for different learning styles and so forth. So there's that. Then I have a learning curve formative assessment, right? So this is a kind of quiz that is designed to help them, you know, assess what they know and what they don't know, and then learn what they don't know, right? So this particular activity is also on active and passive voice. The idea here is to fill up the progress bar to the target score of 750. When you get to 750, you're done and you get 100% in the grade book. This question's worth 15 points. So I'm going to pick an answer, and I got it wrong. It tells me why I got it wrong. I lost some potential value here, and I'm going to try again. So I'm going to click on an answer. Now I got it right. So I got 5 points, and I'm on my way to that 750, okay? If I don't know anything about this particular topic and I need help, I can click on Read the ebook page, and it'll open up to the section, the grammar handbook section on active and passive voice, and I can read about it. Right? And then come back and answer the question. I got 15 more points, so yay, I'm on my way to getting my target score. And it is adaptive, so it adapts to how the particular student's doing. So if they, you know, my pathway might be different than yours. If I know what I'm doing, I'll get through kind of, you know, quicker. If not, it'll slow down and you know, give the student more opportunity to practice and learn the content. So that's learning curve formative assessment. And then I've also assigned a summative assessment, right? So I want to know what they know. So this is a summative assessment. So I click on it, it opens. This also has 10 questions, but now when I choose my answer, I have to go through and click all of them. I don't get any feedback. I just submit it, I get a grade, and that's that, because it's summative. So that's a different kind of assessment. That's it as far as what I've assigned, but there are plenty of things you could assign in this program. This is just an example of how you might use it. We have lots of resources. It's super easy to assign things to your course. It's very easy. And finally, I'd like to tell you about Achieve's Insights and Reporting. So if I go over here to the left and I see Reports, this window opens up. There's two tabs, Insights and Reports. So this is analytics, right? This is data for you. So you can look at different things. Like here I have an assignment score snapshot for the assignments that I have, which I don't have, kids in here doing that, but how students scored on an activity compared to how much time they spent, what are the top assignments that I need to look at, what's the student login time, who's logged in, who hasn't, all that kind of good stuff. And then other reports having to do with objectives that I set, performance by unit, how are they doing, learning objectives I could have set, and individual student performance. I don't have any in here, but this gives you really powerful insight into checking out what specifically you need to do to tailor to student needs. And the beauty of it is that it's more information than just straight grades in the grade book, right? So this is going to be very helpful for you to kind of look at student progress, how they're doing, and what needs to be done. So, okay, so I bet you're wondering, well, great, but where's all the stuff for me? Where are my teacher resources? Well, if you go over to the left-hand side, there's there's several icons here. I'm not going to go into all of them just at the moment, but if you click on resources, it opens up a menu of items and down below, and you can see the teacher's edition. You click on it, it opens up in the middle, this link, and then you click on it and you are taken to the teacher's edition, right? So this is the teacher's edition ebook. It has those great planning pages that you may have heard about in the presentation, to help you organize and plan the teaching of the unit, the overview and pacing guides, the pre-built unit to get you through the chapter, and so on and so forth. So I want to be sure to spend time there. But after that, when you get into the student wraparound pages, you can see the teaching tips in the margins and so forth. But we also have this built-in teacher resource material. So anywhere you see a TRM, teacher resource material, if you click on that, it opens up and the resource downloads right there at point of use. So it went to my downloads folder, and here it is. There's that ELL guide that opened up right there at point of use. So we put those there to save you time, so you don't have to go looking for your resources. So anywhere that you see in the margins a TRM, this one is a activity handout I can click on and get to, or the suggested responses right there at point of use. The ebook works the same way as the student ebook, and it is downloadable. Then also all of your other teacher resources, besides being embedded at point of use, are all over here. All the handouts, all the rubrics, all the goodies that we have for you are all available right here. So if you prefer to get to them this way, you certainly can. So that's another option. So that's the basic overview of Achieve. It's very powerful, it's easy to use, and we'd love to share it with you. If you want to take a look at it and have a demo access, we'd be happy to provide that for you or answer any questions that you may have. So thanks.